That is the prize they are racing for. As I mentioned, it's engraving start with Cigar in 1996. They passed by Dubai Millennium in the year 2000, and last year it went to Animal Kingdom in 2013. But one country that has never been represented, as Rishi Prasad points out, is Hong Kong.
I'm inside the Hall of Champions at Meydan, which pays homage to the 18 winners of the Dubai World Cup, and they've come from Japan, England, America, and of course here in the UAE. But there is one notable exception. There's never been a winner trained in Hong Kong of the Dubai World Cup, but perhaps that might be about to change this year. Richard Gibson and John Moore both have great chances.
Military Attack is spearing away with the Gold Cup. Military Attack, a big winner.
John, I'll start with you first of all. Why is it there's been such a paucity of runners in the Dubai World Cup itself?
You've got to be invited to run in the World Cup, you know, and the hierarchy here felt that the Hong Kong horses weren't really up to deserved place in the World Cup. But now we've got two very, very good horses that have found their way into the World Cup.
Here he comes! Akid Mafid rests the lead in the Cup, and Akid Mafid draws away to beat Tokai Halo.
Richard, what is it about Hong Kong that makes it special, that makes it unique for you?
It's the punters, it's the passion of their racing. You know, you're getting 100,000 people turn up on a track on a Sunday afternoon. It's very motivating to be in a society which is dominated by racing. Every owner is an expert form guide. Every taxi guy recognizes you. They live, breathe and love racing and gambling.
Well, let's talk about your two runners, Military Attack and Akid Mafid. Military Attack, what was it about him that first suggested that he could be a star out there?
Well, it took a long time for him to acclimate in Hong Kong. He was one of the slowest of the horses that we bought from John Hill's yard. But then all of a sudden, one of the English jocks rode him and came in and just said, this horse can really gallop. He won 4 in a row, and Singapore just proved how world-class he really is. So you could say we're coming into the World Cup with a very fit horse and with high hopes.
Richard, you trained one of the great international travellers in Dr. Dino. Does Akid Mafid have the same constitution?
I think Akid Mafid's a better horse, that's for certain. He's got more talent, but they both have that excellent temperament and professionalism.
To be here competing for the richest race in the world, what sort of feelings does that bring out in you?
Well, that's an ultimate, you know, to get the invite. When I got the invite, I said to family and staff, I said, we've been invited to the #1 race on the whole planet. Besides the 10 million, the money is very nice and everything, but just to be able to compete against the cream of the world crop sort of thing is an honour. Military
Attack versus Akid Mafid. John, is he definitely a better horse than Akid Mafid?
I wouldn't say that.
It's not at all about Akid Mafid and Military Attack. I think we're both very respectful of the other runners. There's a strong home team, there's some good Japanese horses in the race. We'll be both hoping that our horses can perform well on the day.
Guys, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Richard.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hopefully, it will be Akid Mafid versus Military Attack in the closing stages.
If it was a Hong Kong Cornella, I'd be going good on you, Hong Kong, and we've made Hong Kong proud.
Well, lovely to meet you both.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thanks, Richie.
Thanks very much.
#1 is Prince Bishop. Kieran Fallon's ridden him to success in round 2 and round 3 of the Maktoum Challenge. Can he land what a massive hat-trick?
#2 is Belshazzar. Going to be another win for Japan. Winner of the Japan Cup on dirt, Christophe Lemaire rides.
Vancouverite, one of several encountering the surface for the first time. Second to Vercingetorix last time out.
#4 is Akid Mafid. He's been a sensation since going to Hong Kong. He won the Hong Kong Cup there and also earlier on the Hong Kong Derby.
San Shao is a carnival improver, and he's worked his way through to put himself here on big race night, looking for that elusive Mike de Kock victory.
#6 is African Story, a Godolphin runner, Sylvester de Souza in the saddle, winner of the Godolphin Mile 2 years ago.
Seven Hill Stars, another one is a surface query, third in the King George, but a winner at Royal Ascot.
Another big chance for Hong Kong is Military Attack. This one won the Singapore Airlines Gold Cup earlier in his career, and Joe Moreira rides.
Side glance got a great ride from Jamie Spencer to win the McKinnon. Been a big night for Jamie so far. Could he get even better with a treble?
#10 is Surfer Richard Mullen. This was 7th in the Godolphin Mile last year and one of the outsiders.
#11 is Hoko Tarome, a massive money earner in Japan, closely matched with Belshazzar, and a horse that should be in the mix.
Ruler of the world, number 12, winner of last year's Derby at Epsom, Joseph O'Brien in the saddle, and running in new colours tonight, Al Shabab Racing.
Mukhadram's got a tough gate in stall 13, can press forward, first time on the surface, returning from a slight injury.
The much-travelled Red Cadeau is number 14, second in 2 Melbourne Cups and second in the Dubai World Cup last year, Gerald Mosse.
15 Catamountain really impressed early on in the carnival, hasn't quite gone on with it, but Mikel Barcelona's ridden a previous winner with Monterosso.
And number 16, Rodna Greek, fourth in the Breeders' Cup Classic 2 years ago, Jose Lescano.
Here is the parade for the Dubai World Cup, sponsored by Emirates Airline. We also mentioned Prince Bishop.
So let's check them now. Prince Bishop, number 1, Kieran Fallon. He's proven a secret weapon for Godolphin this year. He's ridden them quite a few winners.
So there is number 2, Belshazzar. Belshazzar, useful dirt horse, closely matched with Hoko Tauramai on various lines of form. Christophe Lemaire is in the saddle, winner of the Japan Cup Dirt. Dropping
back to Vancouver, right? There's some quiet optimism about this horse. He started his career with Andre Fabre. He won the Prix Guillaume Dornano there at Deauville.
There is Akid Mafid, winner of the Hong Kong Derby and the Hong Kong Cup.
Sanshawes for South Africa coming out next. He was third in the Cape Derby earlier in his career. He's won 2 from 4 at Meydan, and he seems to be in pretty good form. Christophe Soumillon.
There's African Story, as I say, give him a bit of a squeak. That Stall's Instant a bit of a freak, and I think you can discount that run, but for which I think you'd see him coming in here at a shorter price.
Dropping back to a Military Attack, Joe Moreira. Could it be a treble for him? Could it be a double for John Moore? Military Attack won the Hong Kong Gold Cup last time.
Sideglance was fourth in this 12 months ago. I mentioned the great ride he got to win the McKinnon from Jamie Spencer. It's an excellent night. He and João Moreira with 2 winners apiece.
Here's Surfer, one of the outsiders in the field. Richard Mullen has worn these colours to victory on World Cup night before. In fact, he did it last year on Ronaldo the Wizard.
He did indeed. And there we have number 11, Hoko Tauramai for Japan, closely matched with Belshazzar. He's often started favourite for big races and slightly disappointed. He's never actually won above grade 3 level, despite the fact he's been sent off favourite for higher quality races on plenty of occasions. Ruler of the world, there he is, the Derby winner. There's cheek pieces applied, different colours. Joseph O'Brien is aboard. And we had a Kentucky Derby winner win 12 months ago. Could it be an Epsom Derby winner this time around?
There's Mukhadram. He was a much improved horse last year. He won the Brigadier Gerard at Sandown in the UK and was third in the Eclipse. And have a look at Red Cadeau. This horse is extraordinary. His prize money, he's won $6 million in prize money, and 4.5 million of it has been for places. Second in 2 Melbourne Cups and second in a World Cup here in Dubai.
And they probably take that again. There's a stall 15 at Wiltshire House, Catamountain. It makes it tough. And Ron the Greek, Ranas Watani once in Saudi Arabia, drew stall 16 for his connections. And they are looking for the likes of Dineva to really begin to stake a claim for Saudi Arabia. And there in the background we've got Vancouverite.
Now this has got a big chance, this horse here. This is Hill Star.
Sorry, Hill Star, apologies.
He's ridden by Ryan Moore. He's in great form.
This is the track where the World Cup will be won and lost. All of the jockeys' plans are now to be executed. Will they succeed, or will they be left ruining the decisions they made?
They're racing in the Dubai World Cup.
What a performance! Dubai Millennium wins it!
The whips are cracking, the hearts are pounding. Presently Perfect wins the cup.
Al-Shakab racing advisor, who is now part of Ruler of the World, suddenly in the middle of the week here. First of all, how long was this a process? How long did it take to get this deal done?
It was a remarkably quick process in the end. But I suppose in a matter of only a few days, less than a week, which obviously we had to do because of the time constraints of coming to the race and declaration and colours and all of that side of things. But no, it's very exciting. It's wonderful for Al Shakab to be involved in a horse like this and to partner with Coolmore. It's something that Sheikh Jawan is very pleased with.
What was the biggest lure to get involved?
Biggest what?
Biggest lure to get involved. What was the biggest motivation?
I mean, I think it's as much as this race, it's the long term. It's very much, this is a Derby winner, beautifully bred, to be involved with a horse like this at stud, but also to compete through this season in some of the top mile and a quarter, mile and a half races in Europe. But this is a pretty exciting race to start that off in. Whether he'll handle this track, who knows? Apparently it's riding it quite dead this evening. But you know, this is a great starting point, and Aidan's been saying all along that whatever he does this evening he'll improve upon. You know, he'll tighten up for this race, but hopes he's straight enough to do himself justice.
Best tonight and best of luck with the rest of the season.
That's very kind. Thanks so much. Thank you.
Well, Nicholas Bachelard standing by with Ron the Greek, who's just moments away from trying to overcome stall 16, draw 16 tonight. How does he do it, Nicholas?
It's going to be in the hands of Lascano now. I think the horse will probably be placed a little forward. We're going to try to break well from the gate and get a forward position and see how we go. Hopefully we won't be too wide around the turn and he'll work out for us.
He had high-class form on dirt in America. How will he go tonight on the surface, and how will he go in comparison to some top-class horses from around the world?
I hope he handles it well. He did very well on it in the morning. He galloped well on it, seemed to be handling it well. So from there, we'll just have to wait and see.
We wish you the best of luck, and thanks for talking to us.
Thank you very much.
So we're down to the last 2 or 3 for the Dubai World Cup, sponsored by Emirates Airlines, the richest race on the planet to be called by Terry Spargo.
Mukhadram is loaded away into gate number 13. Not many left now. Hillstar, Military Attack, Red Cadeau, last year's second, and Ron the Greek. They look to be the quartet that will complete the line as Military Attack goes in. 2 to go is the call at the gates. Hillstar comes up. Ron the Greek moves in. And Ryan is down at the button. They're just about ready. Orsan Shoreware's up in the air, had a 4-leg cut over the front of the gate. He'll be unloaded. Sanshoreware's in the line. They're backing him out now. He'll be vet checked. Would have been a millisecond away from jumping, and he was up in the air and had a 4-leg. It looked like his offside 4-leg. Caught on top of the gate for a moment. Must have been his near side. That's the one. The vet's looking at them both. David Sykes, chief vet with the Emirates Racing Authority, running his eye over Sanshoreware's. And he's good to go. He is good to go. He has passed the vet check. Again, the starter reaches for the button. Gates fly, they're racing in the Dubai World Cup. Prince Bishop from the inside began awkwardly. Red Cadeau went back shortly after the break. Akid Mafid, African Story, and Mukhadram came out very quickly, with Mukhadram tearing across from the outside, looking for the lead as they race past the judge the first time and go to the mile marker. Paul Hannigan took Mukhadram to the front. Hoko Tayumihi walked up to second. African Story is third, and Ruler of the World fourth as they make the turn out of the straight. Akid Mafid settles on the rail. A length away, Ron the Greek. 3 wide on the outside of Surfer. Then Sanshoreware's Belshazzar on the rail. 3/4 of a length to Side Glance on the outside of Military Attack. A length away, Hillstar, then Cat of Mountain, Vancouverite. Red Cadeau is second last, and Prince Bishop 2.5 lengths away at the tail of the field. Mukhadram took them through the first quarter in 25.7, the first 800 metres in 49.9. Mukhadram down the back of the track. 3 parts of a length in front. Hoko Tayumihi has moved to second. African Story third. Ron the Greek's fourth. He's covering extra ground. Ruler of the World in the middle. A length away is Surfer being shoved along. Then Akeed Mafid, Sanshawes, Side Glance, 3 deep. Followed by Military Attack, Catamount and Belshazzar. Hillstar well back with Vancouverite Red Cadeau, and Prince Bishop is last of all. Mukhadram led on the turn. 450 metres left to go in the great race. Mukhadram in front. African Story into the clear, moves to second. Ruler of the World under pressure. Akeed Mafid on the fence, nothing else running on. African Story and Mukhadram. It's a Dubai Quinella. African Story's taken the lead. Mukhadram battling back, but African Story in the blue of Godolphin is forging clear, and African Story wins the Dubai World Cup. African Story beat Mukhadram. Catamount got up to run third. Then Side Glance, Akeed Mafid and Red Cadeau. Sanshawes, Vancouverite, Belshazzar, Prince Bishop, Military Attack, Ron the Greek, Surfer, Hoko Tayumihi, Ruler of the World, and Hillstar were the last pair to slow to a walk.
The winner of the World Cup is African Story for Godolphin, a 5th success in the race for Said Bin Surat, and a 1st for Silvestre de Souza. The race that if you ride for Godolphin, you most want to ride the winner of. And African Story's beaten Mukhadram. I think Catamount may have come through from a long way back for third. It was a 2-horse race from the top of the straight, but really by the end, the horse that banged his head on the stalls in the last race has knocked his rivals senseless tonight and has won the Dubai World Cup, sponsored by Emirates Airline, by a space. Mukhadram was second, Catamount is third. It's very tight for fourth. Akeed Mafid is involved. Red Cadeau is in there as well. I think Surfer might be the other one. So Side Glance is the other one that's in between there. Sanshawes is next. Then we've got another Godolphin runner, the white cap of Vancouverite. Prince Bishop lost his chance at the start. A delighted Silvestre de Souza is talking to Zoe.
Sylvester, they say save the best for last. You told me you'd meet me at the end of the evening. Tell me about your trip.
It was great. just had an amazing feeling, and he just proved he's the best, you know. So very unlucky early on his first run, but was very unlucky last time as well. He got banged his head in the gate, but he's just proven he's the boy.
This is the world's richest race. You ride for Godolphin. What's going through your mind? What was going through your mind when you crossed the finish line?
So I did it. So we did it. So it's the whole team. It's not only me. So it's Saeed and Brian, the assistant trainer. So the walk riders, is everybody involved. You know, it's amazing. It's just a team effort. So I had a bit of hard-lucky story early on through the races, but he just saved the night.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, Mukhadram has just run the race of his life, and understandably William Haggas is delighted with that.
I'm chuffed to bits. Absolutely fantastic, yeah. Great run. Great ride too.
He has, because he's got into a lovely rhythm up front, and I mean, it turned into a 2-horse race quite a long way out.
Sure, it was a shocking draw. Don't forget, you know, they don't win from out there. And, you know, Paul got him and then was able to get a breather into him. And then on the home turn, we were getting quite excited, but I mean, one ran faster, but he ran a lot faster than most of the others, and I'm chuffed to bits.
And just 24 hours ago, I mean, it was touch and go whether you'd even get him here because he had a problem with his foot. Yeah,
we've had a tricky time, and I should thank my farrier, Billy Mulqueen, and the Shadow farrier, Chris, who have done fantastically well with this horse, and all my team here. We've got 4 people here. And it's been worth every minute of it, and they've worked hard, and it's been a bit of a worry for us all, but we're here now and we've had a goodish result.
And what's the next plan?
I don't know. I think I'd love to say to Sheikh Hamdan, why don't we have another go next year, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
Great, well done.
Thanks, Emma.
Owner celebrations. And the presentation being made. Dubai World Cup about to be lifted. And all of the family are going to be involved, it looks. Said Bin Surat's 6th success in the race, as we mentioned. dates all the way back to that first success with Mukhadram in '99, Dubai Millennium, of course, in 2000 as well. And he receives the whip. Baton twirling too. Sylvester de Sousa about to take his place on the stage as well. And he too receives a memento which he will treasure. Connections of the Dubai World Cup winner African story. Just being confirmation about the carnival success. Godolphin, the leading carnival, and there, punch in the air.
That's pretty heavy.
Yes, I'm not sure it might be a bit of help to hold it there. Yes, I mean, these are the connections actually. Godolphin, Said bin Sarur, and also Sylvester de Sousa, who have won all of the 3 carnival titles. I think it might be a little bit heavy at this stage. Wait, let me grow up a little bit more. Fantastic family scenes in the winner's podium. And for the first time, a sort of quietness descends. Everyone having cheered the local success, which of course is always, you know, massively cheered by the locals. Big cheers as the horse came through to lead. But on a night that has, as I say, really been international in flavour, it was returned to business as usual.
Now that's a man who's probably got $600,000 US in his back pocket tonight. And he has no problem whatsoever in lifting it high.